Oh, good afternoon. Hello, good evening and welcome. Welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Foxshire, on the show is Linda, Bridgeman and Jaffa. Evening, boys and girls.
Evening, Oxshire, Bridgeman and Jaffa, and everyone listening. I hope you're all well.
Evening, lads. Evening, Bridge. Evening, Linda. Good to hear you all again, and thanks for having me on Rangers Radio.
Can I just say a big good evening to you guys on the panel and the girls, of course, and to all the Rangers fans that are listening in all over the world, including the Rangers fans in here on Rangers Radio. Everybody, good evening. Welcome to Rangers Radio.
How you two doing? How's Jaffa? How's Linda? You recovered, yeah? Seen you cutting some shapes on Saturday night, Linda?
Just about, but I've got to say, you know, a winner was had.
I know the feeling, Linda. I know the feeling. I know the feeling.
I'll tell you what, Ox, you were looking fantastic in that crushed velvet suit.
Well, if you keep anything long enough, it comes back into style, as you well know, Jaffa. How are you, Bridge?
Super duper, pal. Thanks. Super duper. Everything's
Good,
magic.
Good. Right, a question for the threes. I was asked it last night and I said no, but I've changed my mind. Is the battle fever starting to kick in, Linda?
Yes, it is. A wee bit nervous as well. I just think, obviously, these international breaks, Ox, you know, once you get to the Wednesday of the second week, you're kind of thinking, right, that's it, it's over and done with. But coming back from the international break to such a big game and such a big month for the club, isn't it? You can't help but look forward to these games, Ox. It's what you want to be involved in, isn't it?
Well, the start of the season, we didn't start well, Jaffa, and we've had ups and downs. We've changed our management team. Where are we, Jaffa? Tell me where we are.
I think we're in a pretty decent place, Ox. I think we're in a very good place. You know, we're still in everything. We've got everything to play for. We let the league advantage go a wee bit just after the winter break. I think that's the biggest criticism, if you had any. Europe's been fantastic after a dodgy start. I think we're in a very good place. The team's in good form. It's not been in electric form, but it's been in good form. It's been winning, and that's the most important thing, especially at this time in the season. I'm looking forward to Sunday. I think we've got a very, very strong chance against them. We're at home. We're very strong at home. If the players are up for it and they all return for this international break free of any serious injuries, bring it on. That's what I say. Bring it on.
Oh, don't get somebody started on the international break and serious injuries. Bridgeman.
What can I say? You know how I feel about all these things. But yeah, I think we're in a very good position. And if we look inwardly into the club and the players, we should all be quite happy with where we are, and I'm quite sure we are. And internally, we're very happy. And we've got a great opportunity. We're playing at home, and we haven't lost at home for a good number of seasons, possibly 2 seasons or more. Unbelievable amount, you know. So that's great. We've got that to hold on to, and we want the team to just turn it on. Get some of the European form and switch it into the shall we say, the league form, and let's do it. Because I don't see everything that they're saying, what we've been told that what they're like, and I don't think there's anybody in the media has got anything good to say about Rangers, and at the same time, I don't think any of them have got anything bad to say about Celtic. So it's just us. As far as I'm concerned, it's just Rangers. Let's go into it.
You might think it's what change. You change your paper boy, Bridgeman. You know what I mean?
No, I don't have one. I just seriously, you guys might see it differently, of course. Most people can. I've just got nothing but hatred for them. Nothing but hatred.
But paper boys?
No, I was a paper boy.
Oh, right.
So I don't hate paper boys. Paper boy, milk boy, you name it. I love all of them. What's happening in this wee country is nothing short of disgraceful. Nothing short of disgraceful. However, I want my team to come out, get their heads up, and go and charge into them on Sunday, and let's do it. We'll be 3 points. I'll do me. We 1-0. I'll do fine.
Yeah. I don't know whether I'm glad it's this big game we're bouncing back to, Jaffa, or I don't know. I'm not a fan of these international breaks. I don't think there's a place at this time of the season for international friendlies, if I'm being honest. Yeah?
Yeah. They're disruptive, folks, to say the least. But we're all in the same. I mean, every team has it.
Yeah.
Of course, we have an abundance of international players in our squad, as Rangers Football Club always should have. And it's just, it's just the modern era that we all live in. These guys, I guess, probably a lot of them use it for a bit of catch up with their families if they're travelling back to their home countries, especially the African boys. And obviously Alfredo going away to Colombia and coming back. That can work. That can work two ways. The travelling's never good, but the fact that they've maybe been home and they've seen their family, and it can level off the equilibrium. It can settle things down. So they're coming back, hopefully refreshed. And I think for me in Sunday Oaks, it's all about the start. It's all about how we start on Sunday, and it's all about attitude.
I think these games are won by attitude, mate. I think they're, 10% ability and 90% attitude at times. Big games, Linda.
Yeah, absolutely. And, hopefully, our players that are coming back off international, representing their countries, their attitude is going to be spot on. And I'm thinking there's been some mixed, obviously, fortunes for them. But if you think about players like Aaron Ramsey, he's had a good 90 minutes. I know there was a wee bit of a debate going on, and I think some of the papers were just making it up, Ox, about he'd picked up an injury, but I don't think that's true. I think he's all right. And also Stephen Davis, I think, got some good time as well. So I think for a change that might be to our benefit. And hopefully the boys that have maybe not done as well, like the guys that were playing for Nigeria, they want to come back, they've maybe got a point to prove. But they're going to have the right attitude in Sunday Oaks, because, you don't want to keep saying things like it's a must-win game, but it probably is. They're going to have to be up for it right from the very beginning. And I don't want us to sit back at all, Ox. I want us to go for it from the first minute. And as Bridge says, just be right up for that battle.
Yeah, I get it. If we start at a tempo and we take the game, we know we can score goals against any team. I think we proved that, Bridgeman, against Dortmund.
Yeah, absolutely. And and we're a really good team. We're a really good team. We've been a really good team all season. Sometimes we just seem to plateau and plunge, and then we come back up again. We're just looking for some consistency within the team now on their game, particularly at Ibrox. We want them to go out there and enjoy playing at Ibrox in front of our own crowd. So that's all I care about. Get out there, play, lift your game, go and do it, put the ball in the back of the net and let them fight for it. That's what I've got to say. As far as I'm concerned, get in there. We've got a great chance. And yeah, I'm absolutely delighted about Ramsey getting his 90 minutes in. And of course, the lads playing for Nigeria. Although there was some to do with a bit of a riot at the end of the game. I think the Nigerian fans weren't too happy that they get knocked out of the World Cup. So I don't know whether our Rangers players got mixed up in all that. But I'd watched a bit of their game and couldn't see it all, but I watched a good bit of it. And Balogun and Bassey and Big Balogun, Bassey and Aribo all played well. Good game. So I didn't have any complaints about that.
Different experience for the boys last night, last couple of days, Jaffa.
Yes, it did look a bit. It was a bit crazy at the end of the match. I think they were all bunkered down in the dressing room after it. That's what it means to these international teams, these African teams. Getting to the World Cup final for them is the pinnacle. They don't have the same enjoyment with their club. The clubs that get involved in tournament football, as we have here, whereas for a lot of us, I speak for myself, of course, quite frankly, I don't know when the last time was I watched Scotland. I've got no interest in them. I'm only interested in Rangers, and I only care about Rangers. So for me, I just want to get the game on. The game can't come quick enough for me, Ox. I want to see Ryan Jack strutting his stuff about, and I want to see him because I think he's pivotal to everything that's good about Rangers when he plays. So I'm hoping my fit Ryan Jack has got a bit between his teeth, and I sincerely hope he puts a performance in, because Ryan's got match winner all over him for me.
Wonder, he played 57 minutes, I think, last night. It was actually 2-0 when he went off. Maybe that tells you his story there.
Yeah.
He hadn't played for, when did he last play, Ryan Jack? Away to Red Star.
Uh-huh.
So he's not played much football because, he didn't have a full game. So maybe that 60 minutes or something last night might have been good for him, eh?
Yeah, definitely. He sat out the Dundee game, didn't he? Yeah. You're right about that. That's right. Yeah, and I think he came on in the first Scotland game. I think he came on in the second half, and then obviously got his 60 minutes last night. So that was good for him, I think. Yeah, I think he's got a great record for Scotland. I don't think they've ever lost when he's played. So, but yeah, I thought that was quite amusing actually, that they took him off and then they lost 2 goals. Unfortunately for Scotland, they probably thought they were going to hold out for the win. But no, Ryan Jack is so important for us. Jaffa says he's done remarkably well since he came back, Ox, hasn't he? For all that time he was out. He hit the ground running straight away, and I don't think we realised how important he was to our team, Ox, until we didn't have him. So it's been brilliant having him back. When you think about the game at Parkhead as well, Ox, I know it was over and done at half time, but he was the one shining light in the second half as well, wasn't he? He hit the bar and he was trying to drive the team forward. So, like Jaffa, I think he's going to be so important, Ryan Jack, on Sunday.
Aye. Bridgeman, I think you can only play the one way, Ryan Jack. He just gives you everything he's got.
Yeah, just about, isn't it, But what a wonderful player. I mean, when you let him go on and do what he wants to do, he goes and does it. Variably. He's made a couple of goals. He's been involved in a lot of goals, and he's scored a couple of goals as well. You can't ask too much more than that. It gives everything. He's got a bit of dig, a bit of wisdom about his play. I think he's a super player, really, really super player. Just hope he can hold on and don't have any wee knocks during this game at the weekend. Just go on, do what you can do, and get back to full fitness as quickly as you can, if you're not already there.
I was looking for some tan polish today, and I seen there's a new shade out, Jaffa, Port Bear Orange.
Oh, Port Bear, that's a sin. That's a sin, you.
Oh, sorry for laughing, Port.
Has he been going to the same salons as Tommy Sheridan?
Jaffa, I'm not commenting on that yet.
You better find yourself. You might get nobody will talk to you when you say that. But it's a good comparison, right, I know.
He said some ribbon, Port Bear. I'll tell you what, good boy takes on.
Hey, he was looking dapper, wasn't he?
Aye, he was, mate. But the suit's back, mate. Yeah, the suit's back. The tan's washed off. He's gave his teeth back. He's like a different boy today, you know what I mean?
He's back to the normal Port Bear.
He'll kill me. Aye, okay. Aye. Ryan Jack, yeah. Start for everybody. Anybody else start Ryan Jack?
Definitely.
Definitely for me.
Yes, for me.
Me too. Right. If it's all right, we use 2 good people and Bridgeman. Will we get the phone lines open?
Oh, yes, please.
Get the Beals on.
Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show. It's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Port Bear. Right, okay. Ryan Jack. I think he starts in most people's teams. I'd be interested to see if anybody out there wouldn't start Ryan Jack. Would that be fair, Linda?
Yeah, some people might not start him. You've obviously got, 3 or 4 people vying for the. I don't know if he would always maybe play in the 2, the sort of holding there. So you've obviously got Lundstrom, you've got Kamara. I don't know how Stephen Davis is going to be. I suspect he wouldn't start anyway, but he would have been competing for that one of those places if he had been playing regularly. So he's got some options, hasn't he, Gio? And it's going to be interesting to see, who he lines up.
Aye. I suppose the thing about it is you can have all the plans in the world, Jaffa. You need to wait till you get a kick-off time to make sure everybody in your plans is ready to go.
Well, it's all about getting them back, isn't it, Ox, onto the training ground between today and tomorrow for Gio. Have a look at everybody, and then no doubt he'll have an idea of a team in his head already who he would like to put together. I would suspect Ryan Jack's on that team line, but you never know. If he's got a plan up, if he's seen something on the other side of the city that he doesn't, he thinks he can exploit. But for me, Ryan Jack, I think he would be. He's a definite starter, and I think Gio will start with him if he's fit. I think he'll play.
I agree.
Can't argue with that. By the way, Jaffa, absolute pleasure to meet you. Absolute pleasure, pal. And you too, Linda.
You too, Bridge.
Really nice.
Cheers, Bridge.
I don't know which
course,
one of the two were the nicest, Oxford. I don't know which one of the two.
I was going to say it was a pleasure to bump into you as well, Bridge, but I'll leave that.
Of course it was nice to see you, you know it.
Always, mate, always. And your face and Skipper's face when Big DJ came in, eh?
Yeah. Well, what can you say? Wonderful, just wonderful.
Skipper said Bridge was that emotional he nearly bought a drink.
Nearly.
I wasn't quite as close as that, but there you go.
Oh dear. You've got to laugh. Right, okay, Ryan Jack. Good place. You've not solved this international riddle for me, Jaffa. Answer me, help me out. These international friendlies, what is the point?
None, to be honest with you, Ox, apart from the fact that they're filling up a card, quite frankly, for FIFA. I suspect that's the only reason for it, behind it. Just pointless, utterly pointless, travelling teams all over halfway around the world to play friendlies. It's crazy. But there'll be no end to it, Ox, because it's all to do with the commodity that we all require to keep the world moving, money.
Yeah, but there doesn't seem to be any interest in them games, does there?
No, not in the friendlies as such. When you watched England last night and Senegal, and Scotland are over in Austria. What was the crowd like there? There was about 4 dozen there or something, wasn't there?
Aye, you get the point, Linda. I just don't. I get it. You've got to fit qualifiers in. I don't see how they couldn't play the qualifier last Wednesday and everybody goes back and plays with their clubs this weekend. Yeah. Last weekend even.
Yeah. Obviously the teams that were involved in the qualifiers, as you say, once they get put out, that should have been it. The only international teams that should have been playing this week were those who had qualifiers or actually had won their semi-final and had got through. They could easily have done that. But then, obviously, as the guys have said, they organised all these meaningless friendlies, potentially, people travelling. Obviously, the COVID's still about. You could potentially pick up injuries in meaningless games. So, hopefully, this is a kind of one-off situation, Ox. But I don't think there's any more games now until June. And then, obviously, there's a World Cup to fit in later on in the year. But, no, I would agree with you. Half of these matches didn't need to take place.
No, I don't get it. I don't understand it. But there you go. That's just me. I'm a simple man, Bridge.
Very simple. Absolutely. Can I just say, we were speaking about crowds there. I noticed a wee snippet in, I think it was in Follow, that Barcelona, a game in Barcelona at the weekend, broke the world record.
Today it was. Bridge.
Was it today there, yeah? So they broke 92,000 or something like that. But what about that, Linda? The ladies' game in Barcelona, world record crowd, 92,000. Wow,
unbelievable, Bridge.
Just
Fantastic,
incredible.
wasn't it? Yeah.
Amazing, just amazing stuff,
5-2 to Barcelona, Bridge.
Was that what it was? 5-2?
Yeah.
You're trying to beat a win as well, can you? Just great. It's great.
His teams never get beat. It's always the referees, Jeff.
Why I couldn't get rid of the referees? I'd be always happy. I see the referee for the weekend's game. It's what's his name? Colum.
Mr. Colum.
Could have been worse.
A lot worse.
The last 7 games he's refereed, Bridge, for Rangers, we haven't won. We've won 1 in 7.
What was that?
Rangers and Celtic games.
I know what he's like. I know exactly what he's like.
When did the last referees, mate? I can't remember doing it for a while.
The 1-1 draw last season at Parkhead.
And before that, because obviously we had a run of games where we weren't competing there.
Yep. Oh, well, that was the start of today, I believe. Most of it was during our barren spell when we were illegally dropped down to the other leagues.
Don't mention barren spells. That's when we try to pick horses on Saturday night.
Ditto.
I done all right, actually. How did
you get away with it then? How did you do it and nobody else can do it?
I think Old School Blue done all right. Old Bear, Old School Blue, Southside.
Southside?
Yeah.
He get the bounty.
He got the big prize, didn't he?
Well, you pay your money, you take your chance.
Absolutely. Well done.
Right, okay, yeah.
We were trying to buy a horse for 30 bob.
I think I was in that syndicate, Jeff. Right, where are we? Right, okay, so we've got Ryan Jack, he's nailed in, right? Who's playing next to him then? Linda?
I would go with John Lundstrom. I think he's done enough in the last even couple of months, really, even before the winter break. He's sort of nailed that place down, Ox. I think he's in form. I think he started to play like the player I think we thought we had bought. And I think he deserves to get that place beside Jack.
Oops, done a Bridgeman, Jaffa.
Same for me.
Just badness.
Lundstrom for me, Ox. Lundstrom for me. I think he looks nice and robust in there. He's box to box. He's got a right bit of dig about him, and like Linda said there, he's banging form. I'm liking a lot about John Lundstrom just now. He's tidy, neat, and he gets in a great tackle. So for me, I think we'll need that on Sunday.
I have to agree with the Perry. I think Lundstrom, for me, he's a good partner for Ryan Jack. And he's they go, one goes forward, one goes back type of thing, It works very well. And I'm delighted for John Lundstrom. And tomorrow, there's been a wee bit of, shall we say, furore about him sometimes. But Sunday, he should be able to turn it on. And if he plays well, Rangers will get a great chance, because I think he's a smashing player. And as Jaffa said there, he does a good tackle, he gets a good tackle, and we need someone to do that. What we can't afford for John Lundstrom to get caught up at park, because he's not the fastest person in the world, so he's got to watch what he does. And if he gets up the park, and then all of a sudden there's a breakaway, so everybody must be very careful when they've got control of the ball. Keep control of the ball, and if you need to just boot it out of the park, there's a chance to get back. Because that's what we need to do.
Aye, it's John Lundstrom. It's been a conundrum this season, Bridgeman. You know, he's some excellent games. I think he had 4 man in a matches in a row, and then he disappeared out of favour for whatever reason, and he didn't have a great game against, I think it was Aberdeen at Ibrox, and he sort of disappeared out the reckoning, and we're thinking, will we move on in January? Then all of a sudden, maybe it's the Ryan Jack factor. He come back in, and some of the games he's been superb. You know, a couple of games.
I'm really sorry for him. Who did he get sent off against again? Who was it?
Well, that was the European qualifier, wasn't it?
Alice Kerr.
That's the
you
one.
Could see he was absolutely gutted. You know, and I think it was only about that time he sort of faded away a wee bit. You know.
No, he bounced back for that bridge and got the 4
I know.
man in the matches.
I know he sort of disappeared out of the game for a wee while, and he wasn't getting picked. So simple as that. Maybe he was carrying a wee knock.
You never know. You never know some of the things that we don't hear, Linda. There.
I know, as you say, he seemed to fall out of favour every time there was a mistake made, and it was costly. The Aberdeen game was at the 2-2 draw, and I think there was a lot of raw emotion that night because obviously Walter's passing. I think he caused one of the goals. He seemed to disappear. Gerrard played him and then he dropped him. But he seems to have got in now under Gio, and he is playing consistently as well now, Ox, so it's probably easier for Gio to put him in. But he was a wee bit of a conundrum, and to be honest, Ox, if he had gone in the January window on loan, I don't think any of us would really have batted an eyelid, because he had, we just thought he's hardly featuring, and it might be better for him if he goes out on loan. But there you go. He stayed and he's forced his way into the team.
Fair play to him, Jaffa.
Yeah, that says a lot about his character, actually, which is, I think, a great sign about for someone that can bounce back for that. And I mean, we've often said on the show here, Ox, Rangers are, playing in front of that crowd, it's there's no mercy. If you're not on your game, we let you know, and we're a hard crowd to please. And I think it says a lot about John Lundstrom, and I'm delighted for the lad. I think he gets it. I think he gets us, and I think we get him. And I think the fans are getting right behind him, and I think there's a lot of Rangers fans that hear it, and the games have been at, really cheering him on and eagerly pushing him forward. So, I think the two of them together, Ryan Jack and Lundstrom, they give us it's like a real bit of security in there. And I think we lacked that in the early part of the season, Ox, and we were playing that kind of real flat 4-3-3. And I really like the 4-2-3-1 setup. I think we're strong in that. I think that's our formation for the kind of players that we've got, and we can get all the creative guys up front in.
Fair comment. I can't argue with that. I think we'll look good. I think there's more flexibility in Gio's system than there was in Stevie G's, and that's not a criticism, it's an observation, Bridge.
Yeah, I'm intrigued with what Jaffa said. What formation did you say there, Jaffa?
4-2-3-1. 4-3-3 under Stevie.
Yeah, I heard you saying that before, So, yeah, we've played it before and it can be quite successful. I don't know whether we've played it before against this mob. But yeah, I think I agree with you. We've got to change something, and I'm intrigued as to what team the manager is going to pick. Obviously, injuries and non-injuries for that matter. Players' availability is absolutely special for us this time. So yeah, I don't know what to think, because that team, although we hate them, I hate them anyway. But they do. The results have been very good. Whether they've been justified or not, I don't know from a referee perspective. But the results appear to have been very good. So they obviously can play, and they did us a roasting at Parkhead in the last game in the first half. Second half, well, they maybe took the foot off the gas, but allowed us back into the game a lot more. We just couldn't put the ball in the net. So I don't want to see another performance from them in that manner that they played in the first 45 at Parkhead. I don't want to see that. I want to see Rangers playing like that and coming out and doing it. That's what I want to see. I want to see Rangers taking control of the game, tempo in their game, away and do it, because we can beat them for sure. We can beat them.
Of course we can. Of course we can. Well, come and join us in 0141 356 1972. Phone in. Give us your thoughts on anything Rangers related. Yeah, anything Rangers related. Right, okay. Lundstrom. All right, I get it. I think I would select him at this moment in time, which I didn't think I would have said that a few months ago, Linda. Glenn Kamara, maybe even Scotty Arfield beside Jack at times, but no, Lundstrom come in and gives us a bit of physicality as well.
Yeah, and as Brad says, we'll need something, somebody with a bit of bite in the midfield. Particularly, on Sunday. We've needed that in Europe as well, and he's provided it. Glenn Kamara has been pushed further up, hasn't he, in some of the games. So it will be interesting to see if Kamara does feature. You'll probably come on to that, Ox. But Lundstrom, the goal he scored away in Dortmund when Kent cut the ball back to him, that was a fantastic finish. And I think we would like to see a wee bit more of that, particularly, when he's playing in the domestic front. But sometimes there isn't that space, Ox, isn't there not? It's too congested. And even when, we want them to shoot more, but you sometimes don't get that type of space for the ball to actually go through to the goal. But that was a terrific goal. And I think that's what we thought he was capable of doing. But he certainly is. He's really making an impression on the fans, and long may that continue.
Yeah. So I think we feel as if it will be the 4-2-3-1 again, Jaffa.
I might be wrong, Ox. I know, as you clearly just pointed out there, that he does have flexibility in that formation. It can switch to the 4-3-3. We've even seen him going back to the 3 at the back and putting Flood in the midfield and going to the 5 on occasions when he's been defending at the end of games. What I really like about it is that the bench plays a big part in the game now, Ox. So, and I think that's what I'm really enjoying about Gio's formations just now, is that we are switching it up at 65 minutes and 70 minutes, freshening it up. Whether it be bringing on Glenn Kamara, who's a brilliant player, and we all love Glenn Kamara. He's a great player, and bringing a fresh fit Glenn Kamara onto the match at 65 minutes is a great position to be in. So I suspect it will be the 4-2-3-1. I'm sure we'll as the show goes on tonight, you'll want to chat about who else might be in that 3 at the front, and I think we all know who we would like to see up in number 1. But I think that's the formation he'll go with. For all the reasons that we're talking, and chatting about. The 4 at the back, I think, pretty much pick themselves, don't they? Or 5 at the back, I should say.
Well, we'll come at that. Right, okay. So does anybody think that any of the shape's going to be different for that bridge, Linda?
No, I don't think so. The 4-2-3-1, I think Jaffa's right. I think he'll go with that. It's his ability to change the formation in game that's been quite impressive at times, hasn't it? Particularly in the big games. And whatever you think of them, this is a big game. It's against a good team. It's going to be different from all the other domestic games when you would expect them to come out and try and play a bit of football. It will be interesting to see how much homework they've done when that team's played in Europe, because they've been found out in Europe, and there might be some lessons to be learned, Ox, looking at some of those games and how the opposition have punished them. But as you say, we've got to concentrate on how we play. But no, I don't see it. I think it'll be the 4-2-3-1 with the ability to maybe tweak it in game if necessary.
Bridge, do you agree? It'll be 4-2-3-1?
Yeah, I agree. I think it will be. I think the Rangers seem to have played quite successfully under that kind of formation. I've got no complaints about it. I think we've discussed. We've got not talked about the 4 at the back yet, other than it's going to be the normal. The 3 I think we've selected the 3. Yeah, Ryan Jack and Lundstrom and I don't know who. Oh, it's going to be 2, isn't it? So it's going to be 4-2-3-1. Yeah. So that's right, Ryan Jack and Lundstrom. That's cool. Wait till we get to the next one.
All right. Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show. It's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Okay. Al McGregor, 100% starter.
Yep.
It's a yes for me. A yes for me.
Yeah, I get it. And inform Al McGregor is just something else, you know. I don't think it's his most consistent season, but he's still showing flashes of absolute brilliance. Linda?
Yeah, he's definitely our best goalkeeper, Ox. You're right. He's uncharacteristically has cost us, a few goals this season, and you can't get away from the fact that it's cost us valuable points. But when you also look at some of his other performances, single-handedly probably got us through a couple of the European games anyway. And he usually always turns up against them as well. So let's hope he continues to do that on Sunday. But yeah, he's the number one goalkeeper. I can't see it, the only way that he wouldn't start was if he maybe had an injury or something like that. So it's McGregor for me.
Jaffa?
Yeah, Alan McGregor all day long, Ox. I agree. He's had these moments this season, as the whole team, I have to say. But Alan McGregor on his day.
Mm-hmm. Bridge?
Yeah, 100%. Alan McGregor. Every minute of every day. The way he's been playing of late. Marvellous stuff. His performances in Europe have been outstanding for us. Outstanding.
Aye, I mean, some of his games, he's been just some of the saves he had away at Red Star, but he was just superb, wasn't he? Superb. By the way, I think John McLaughlin's an able deputy as well, Linda, yeah?
Yeah, because I think he's got a really good record as well, in terms of clean sheets. He has got that ability to make big saves as well. He's shown us that over this season and last season when he featured. It will be interesting to see what happens going forward, whether we do think he could become the number one. I think we'll probably go out and strengthen anyway, particularly if Alan decides it's time to hang up his gloves. But no, he's a very capable deputy, Ox, and I think we're quite lucky to have him. I think he walks into any other team in Scotland, perhaps maybe bar one. I think he could do well down south as well, because I think that's where he came up from, wasn't it?
Sunderland. Came up for Sunderland.
Sunderland, yeah. I think we're quite lucky, and we've also got young McCrory as well, who they've obviously got an eye on for the future. So, but it is probably an area we will go out and strengthen, I think, Ox.
Okay, I agree. Back four. I think the captain starts all day long, Bridgeman, yeah?
Absolutely, pal. 100% again, all day long.
Is he my best player since the become back, or Lundstrom, between him and Lundstrom?
Yeah.
I think he... Oh, sorry, you're talking to Linda, apologies.
You go first.
Sorry, Bridge, on you go.
No, I think, yes, I think I would give Tav that, because he's come good with some penalties as well, and obviously some assists. There's some parts of his game where there seems to be quite a bit of, shall we say, comments and negative comments between the vice captain and the captain. So I don't know why that is, other than it's just bumping into each other or in each other's way or whatever, So hopefully that'll get solved. No problem. Shouldn't be a problem there. Other than that, I think Tavernier's been superb. Each time I criticise him, and I do it quite openly, when I criticise him, the next game I see him playing, he's just marvellous. He just does it. What an athlete, by the way. What an athlete. And I saw his a younger brother playing, and he plays for Middlesbrough. Was it Middlesbrough?
Yeah, Marcus, yeah.
Right. My goodness gracious, he looks like him. And he walks like him.
Funny, that happens quite a lot with brothers, doesn't it?
Yeah, same gait and things like that. Wow, look at that. Brilliant. Just brilliant.
Jaffa, captain all day long, yeah, starts, sir.
Oh, aye. Yeah, he's again, Linda makes a great comment earlier on there when she was talking about informed players, and I think James Tavernier just now is right in form. His confidence is sky high. He started picking those holes again where he's really spotting areas to exploit as we're moving forward out of the transition when we do the turnover or coming out for McGregor. He's really appearing at the back end of the box against Dortmund. I'm liking a lot about James Tavernier just now. And I think that whole 4-2-3-1 ox, I think, gives James Tavernier that licence to do that. And I think that's why we've been so powerful and so able to exploit teams in Europe in particular. I think everything that's good about us is a lot is to do with James Tavernier.
Aye, I agree, Linda.
Yeah, and I think when Gio first came in, Ox, our fullbacks weren't pushing up as much. We talked about this on the show. We were trying to get our natural width from the wingers. And I think that lasted for quite a few games, and it did work because we stopped conceding goals early. Remember that horrendous run where we conceded first in nearly every game? But then I think as his sort of time has progressed with Gio, in terms of Gio, you've started to see the fullbacks get up more now, and I think probably the players are more used to that. So it's a possibility that they maybe have had a chat with him, the management team, perhaps, to say that this is maybe, at times we would like to play like this. I don't know if that's a feasible thing that they would do in terms of chatting to him, but we've definitely seen it in the last kind of 6, 8, 10 games. It hasn't always worked, and I know we've been kind of guilty of still conceding goals, but Tav's best attribute for that team is driving the team forward and getting further up the park. And I think we've got to capitalise that going forward, particularly in these big games coming up.
Big games, plural, Jaffa.
I mean, what a position. We look at that fixture card coming up, Ox. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Fantastic. And I have to say, I know we should only take a game at a time, but I'm looking forward to my wee trip over to Portugal coming up.
All booked up. You're all booked up then, Jaffa.
All booked up. Tickets a whole lot, Bridge, so I can't wait. Can't wait.
That's brilliant, Jaffa. Jealous.
Yeah. He'll not be alone for Rangers Radio. He'll not be alone.
Ooh.
James Tavernier, one full-back. Change for the last time we played him. I think Calvin Bassey will start for me all day long. Bridgeman.
Yeah, Bassey's proved to be a really good player for us. Young lad, big. My goodness, he's built really well built and moves not too bad. But obviously his youth shines through sometimes, and his massive inexperience in big games and against top quality players. But it's all a learning. His learning curve's good. I don't know if he played great against Ghana last night, because I never saw all of it. But for him to get selected at international level to play in the World Cup is just wonderful. What an experience for him. So he's got a lot to give to Rangers, and we want a big slice yet for Sunday. Please, big slice. Please, a big slice.
Linda.
Yeah, and I think it was probably injury that kind of dictated that he played sort of centre back in the last game, didn't he, Ox? Because we didn't have he didn't think Balogun was fit enough to start. So, as long as we've got somebody to play that left centre back, then Bassey's got to be left back all day long. And as Bridge says, what an achievement for him to play international football, and it'll do his confidence the world of good. I think he's been a real star for us this season. Probably played better than we expected, Ox, but I think he's been one of the standouts.
I agree. Jaffa?
Oh, I love him, Ox. I think he's what a future that young lad's got. And
what are you going out for? I like your boys.
Oh, I love him. I love him as a footballer. Full stop. He's a brilliant footballer, and I think he's really flourished in that left-hand role. out wide. I think he's great at going forward. I think he brings a new dimension to the game as well. He's strong, like Bridge said. There's a lot. Again, Calvin Bassey, he just fits our team just now. He really does fit our team. He's not been without the odd wee mistake, but the guys at the back, the more experienced heads at the back, have got to keep young Calvin right, because he's got the tendency still to wander a wee bit, just out of position, just 4 or 5 yards. But that's in these big games sometimes the difference between getting caught and not getting caught. And but he's a great player. I really like him a lot. I love watching him. And if he's up for the game, if he's another guy I think's pivotal on Sunday, if he's right up for it, I think we could turn them over on Sunday.
Bridgman, if we've got one criticism of his game, he's a big unit, but he ain't the greatest header I've ever seen, is he?
No. And for him to even get in anywhere near, even as a reserve, get a role at centre half, and to come out after a 90-minute game and people think he played well, is absolutely marvellous for him. Just marvellous. Because he's not the greatest header. By the way, he's quite a poor judge of the ball sometimes, particularly if there's a wee crosswind. And he gets himself caught out, as Jaffa says. And these are the things that he needs to learn. The problem with playing for Rangers is they're playing so many very, very important games that the players don't get a chance to relish the lessons. Here, I need to do this, and this is what you need to do, son. Come on, keep going and doing it. That the games we play are so high tempo, a requirement of high tempo. It just must be pressure all the time on the players. So Bassey's done very, very well. You think how far he's come in a very short space of time, you know. Because it's only a couple of years ago they were putting him in the jail for having, what do you call it, parties and God knows what, COVID parties. And what is going on here? But it wasn't him. He never did any. But there you are. He said, what a player for us. What a player for us. Top class plays. We're playing in European quarterfinals. My God. Oh, I'm so happy. So happy for him. Ranting again.
Yeah, just a bit. I'll give him a lot tomorrow. Come on, hurry up. Right, centre backs, Jaffa.
Goldson and Balogun for me. Ox, I'm not adverse to big Hollander being in there, but I would, if Balogun's fit, I would go with Balogun. That would be my two.
I like to hope, unless he gets a knock, he's fit. One guy's just played international football.
Yeah, hopefully he's all right. I agree with Jaffa. Hollander is just coming back for this injury. In the last game, he didn't. I mean, it's hard for him, Ox. You know, he's just come back, as I said, from a serious injury. You know, it takes you time. I don't think he would risk him on Sunday as long as Balogun's all right. I think Goldson and Balogun are the two that I would pick. And I know Big Phil gives you the better balance because he's left-footed, but I still think Balogun will be the better choice for Sunday.
Bridgman?
I have to forgive me, guys. I have to disagree with you. I think Hellner should be in the team. I think he gives got a lot to it. Obviously, if he's injured, there is no 100% in any way, shape, or form. No, this is too big a game. But I think he brings something to our game. He's got a bit of poise when the ball's at his feet. He doesn't seem to panic, and he can score a goal. My goodness, he can go up there and score goals. That's not to say that Balogun doesn't do that, but he can go up and score goals as well, as we've seen. But I think Hellender gives a lot more, shall we say, he puts a lot more fear into the defence when Hellender's up there prowling around. That's what I think, and I think he deserves to get.
When was the last time Big Phil played 90 minutes, Bridge?
Oh goodness, no! It's been a while. That's why I'm saying they've got to be fit. You know, as long as they're fit and they're okay, then I don't mind. Because Balogun's much the same. He's been carrying a wee injury and so on and so forth. And look, as Linda says, you can't disagree with what Linda says. A lot of folk would prefer Balogun in there anyway, simply because they prefer Balogun. I prefer Hellender. I think he's a far better footballer, and he gives a lot because they play down the wings a lot. Well, as far as I know, they do anyway, and they're pretty quick.
I think I need to disagree with my Leonard colleague there, Jaffer. I don't think Big Phil's done anything to get a game on Sunday. I don't think he looked fit.
No, he's. I'm trying to think, Ox, when he did play. Was it the Dundee before game? The first Dundee game, the League One.
The League One, he came off at half time, didn't he?
He came off at half time. That's right. So I'm only going in form, but look, as I pointed out, not to disagree with Bridge too strongly. I like Big Hollander, and if his name's on the team sheet on Sunday, I'm more than happy, delighted. I agree with Bridge. He's good in the opposition box, and he has got that wee bit of poise, and he definitely gives you more balance with the left leg. Big Balogun is able, more than able in that back line, and he's also very dangerous in the opposition box. So is Goldson, I have to say. In recent weeks, and both of them have actually scored and been on the score line. So I'm quite happy with the back line. If you want to even if they wanted to go to a back three, as I said, I don't think Gio would do anything like that. I don't think he would do anything as radical as that in such a big game. I think he will probably go with the tried and tested the 4-2-3-1. But it would be Balogun would be my first choice.
Right, okay. Aye, fair enough. I mean, it'd be interesting to do them 100% fit, Linda. That becomes a different proposition, eh?
Yeah, I think if Hollander's fully match fit, firing all cylinders, and I'm saying match fit, Ox, not injury free, I'm just saying match fit, I think he probably would play. But it's his lack of game time and just coming back from that injury, he's not looked sharp, and it's understandable. It's not a criticism. I think that's why it would probably be better to play Balogun on Sunday. But a fully fit, firing all cylinders, Hollander would get into the team because he's left-footed and he gives you that better balance.
I'd probably keep Big Hollander for the UEFA Cup final.
Well said, Jaffa.
Yeah. I get where you're coming from there, Jaffa. Aye, but I'll let Bridge come back in before we move on. Yeah, Bridge.
Well, I'll stick to my guns. I'm a big Balogun fan, of course, but I do think Hollander has got that wee bit. There's something about him. I agree with what Lynn said there. As long as he's match fit, he's got to be match fit, and they're good putting him on and then dropping him for after 40 minutes or 45 minutes. We don't want that. If whoever comes on there against them, they must be ready for 90 minutes, and whatever the skills they've got to bring the whole lot. Let's get in there. That's what we need to do. I prefer, particularly in this game, I would prefer Hollander to play at centre half along with Goldson. That's what I would like. I don't have any problem with it.
It's all about opinions, Bridge. Goldson. I mean, people have got issue with Goldson, but his record, his consistency, appearances, it's unbelievable, Jaffa.
Oh, it is unbelievable. I mean, the amount of games that guy is racking up is. I did look at it a few weeks ago, how many games he's actually played for us in his full Rangers career, and it's crazy. It's nuts. He's always fit. The big man's always available. And I know he's got his critics, and we've all discussed him on here on occasions when he's had his good games, his bad games, and he's had absolutely unbelievable games. But in essence, Connor Golson's a steady Eddie, and he'll give you a 7 or 8 out of 10 every week. And if he gives me another 7 or 8 out of 10 on Sunday, I'll be delighted with that.
Aye, yeah. Bit of freak of nature, really, Linda.
Yeah, what was it? Was it over 200 games you said?
I'll get you the exact number. Number just for you, Linda. I wouldn't do it for anybody
thank you. I think he's
Linda, you're the chosen one tonight, Linda.
The chosen one. I think he said it was over 200 and he's maybe got 10 goals or something like that. So the amount of games, his European record is something like, I think it was 56 games, which is absolutely incredible. I know they play a lot more games in Europe now, but he's available for nearly everyone. as Jaffa says, he is liable to make the odd mistake, and a lot of people, they don't like him particularly. They think he maybe, he's maybe not as good as he thinks he is. But excuse me, I don't think you can take anything away from him, Ox, in terms of his availability and the number of games he's played.
I'm just getting, I wonder about, I'll get you the right total in a moment, but I think the managers seem to trust him, Jaffa. Is it a manager's type of player? Does that make sense?
Aye, that's a great way of describing it, Ox, and I think he is. He's all managers need those kind of spines, as we used to hear in the 90s, the spine of your team. And Connor Goldson is the backbone of that spine. Him and McGregor's his go-to all the time. James Tavernier been another. And Calvin Bassey this season been another at the back end. So I don't think it's any massive coincidence, Ox, that we've went on to a decent run when the back line settled down, because there was a lot of chopping and changing at the start of the season under Stevie G. We know a lot of the time Steven Gerrard changed it, just for the sake of changing it and putting faces in and giving them game time. But I like a settled back four, and I think Connor Goldson is the manager's insurance policy.
Bridgman, if he plays the rest of the games this season, he's actually heading towards averaging about 54 games a season, mate, in 4 seasons. That's remarkable, isn't it?
That's incredible. Just utterly incredible. And by the way, there's nothing to stop, other than injury, there's nothing to stop him playing every game between now and the end of the season, because he's been the best centre-half in Scottish football for the last, 3.5 years, 4 years he's been here. Wonderful player. What a player. He's brilliant. But we know, I'm angry at him, simply because he hasn't signed a new contract. Because I wanted him and Tavernier to finish up at Rangers. Just to sign it up and go to the end of your career at Rangers. I don't know where that lad is ever going to get the quality of teams he can play against, other than with Rangers. The world's his oyster at the moment. And if he gets into the semi-finals of the Europa League, he will kill himself. He'll just kill himself for not getting been there. He'll never forgive himself for not signing the contract. Still time to do it, but my goodness gracious, what a chance. Next season, possibly in Champions League. Oh my God. Sorry guys, I'm ranting again. I just love the guy. I think he's a fantastic player for us.
Aye, all right. Aye. One of the remarkable amount of appearances in 4 years. 210, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, Ox.
And no substitute appearances.
No.
None.
I think he missed a couple of games earlier this season because of COVID, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
I think that was he wasn't able to travel. You can't get away from it. I mean, we talked about Goldson and the contract situation a lot, but I think it will just come down to as well the fact that he might just want a move, Ox. He might think this is his last move. He maybe wants to move his family.
He's 30 this year, Linda. He's 30 this year, yeah. 30.
So, and at the end of the day, if he goes, I think the majority of us will say thanks very much for your service. I don't think you could deny him that, but it could be his last move, and I don't think you could blame him for it. Although he won't play for a bigger club, and he'll realise that.
No chance.
No.
Right, okay. Get yourself a mute, and we're going to have a tune. Now, we need some callers because it's a phone-in show. Let's hear for the tune. Foxy Boy.
A trip to Eyebrow, my favourite team for to cheer, where they were playing the Glasgow Celtic on the first day of the year. Now the ground was filled to capacity as the teams come out to play. The animals sang the soldiers' song and the people sang Dolly Gray. Oh, how time it came when the Glasgow Celtic were in the lead. Finian Tully was rounding everywhere, shaking his rosary beads, while the green flags, they were flying high. Celtic hearts were full of pride. The second half, sure, it started, and the Rangers, they turned the tide. Won't you play up the Glasgow Rangers? Oh, play up the boys in blue. Oh, play up the Glasgow Rangers. We're here to cheer for you. Now the ball goes out to Walker, and from 30 yards he did score. Sure you couldn't hear your ears at Ibrox Park, for the sash my father wore. Oh, play up the Glasgow Rangers. Sammy Cox is on the ball. He slips it through the Williewood barn. Then on through to Ian McCall. McCall to Billy Simpson. Oh, here come the boys in blue. Well, Simpson beats the Celtic centre half, and then goes number 2. Now the Rangers fans are roaring. Jardine Young, he takes a free onto the head of William Simpson. And then goes number 3, while it's 3-1 for the Rangers. That was the final score. A happy new year from Ibrox Park, for Rangers beat the Celtic once more. Yes, a happy new year from Ibrox Park, for Rangers beat the Celtic once more. Yes, a happy new year from Ibrox Park, for Rangers beat the Fenians once more.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Play up the Glasgow Rangers. Play up the boys in blue. I love it. I just love it. Wonderful choices.
Yeah. Great number. Anyway, we'll be joined by Peter for 5. How are we doing, Peter?
Evening, everyone. How are you all doing?
Hi, Peter.
Hey, good.
Evening, Peter.
Hi, Peter.
Evening. Great tune, as always. Yeah, it's just to touch on your team selection for Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
I would go with the same: McGregor, Tav, Goldson, Balogun, Bassey. As you were saying about Bassey, how great is he? Can play at centre half, come in as a left back, versatile, can go in centre half, play left back, and I think he's been good in both of them. Then I'd play Lundstrom, Jack. You might not agree with me here, but I would join them.
Calm down, we've not got that far yet. Calm down. You know, as London will tell you can't peak too early. Right. Okay, so far you've got your back four, the goalkeeper, and the 2 central midfield players, yeah?
Yep.
And then you playing a 4-2-3-1?
Yeah.
Right, okay. You can join in, Peter. Right, okay.
Yep.
Is Ryan Kent a shoe-in, Linda?
Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. All right. No debate, Jaffa?
No debate, none whatsoever. Yeah. He's critical to the way we play.
Mm-hmm. Bridgman. Sir Bridgman. Hope. He's on mute. Peter?
Yep. Kent's a set.
Yeah, I think so, mate. An informed Ryan Kent troubles any team, eh?
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Okay, right. So, That's on the left. Who's on the right for you then, Peter?
Aribo.
Aribo. Do you like these sweets? Right. Well, right. Jaffa, have you thought about this, mate? This seems to be the position, isn't it?
Yeah, Aribo on the right for me as well, same as Peter.
Wonder.
Well, I debated Aribo because, I'm not saying he's been playing very poorly or anything, but I just don't think he's been the same player since the AFCON Cup. And I think he would probably agree with that, because I know in some of his interviews he said he's not hit the levels. I don't know how much football he played with Nigeria, the Rocks. He probably could have done with a break. But I would still play him, so I would still have him on the right hand side. But that was one of the positions I thought, I don't know.
I actually think when he was playing the best for us, he was playing in the middle of the three.
Yeah.
But it's who do you put between them? Are you back with us, Bridge?
I am indeed, pal. Thank you. I am indeed.
Right. Who you putting on the right?
Well, that's a real teaser, that one, isn't it? Aribo would be a favourite, wouldn't he? But I'm not dead sure whether we should bring young, what do you call him, Fashion Sakala and play him on the right. But
we don't know if he's back yet, mate, because obviously
we don't know.
COVID way.
Providing there's fitness or no fitness problems, I think Aribo would be a very popular person to play on the right.
All right. Right, Linda, who's in the middle of Kent on Aribo?
I'm going with Ramsey.
Oh, that's a bold call.
Yeah.
Explain.
Well, I think these are the sort of games that we bought him for, and I know that that's okay if somebody's fit and they're ready to go, and he hasn't been. We know that in some of the games he's not started. However, he's played 90 minutes for Wales. As long as he's come through that, he's okay. He's not got any niggling injuries, and he's fit. He's feeling all right, Ox. I would play him on Sunday. I just think that would be a huge boost for the team. And as I said, he's got to be fit. But I just think if he's lining up in that start 11, we know the quality he's got. I just think that would give everybody a lift if his name is on that starting sheet.
Jaffa.
Linda's nailed it for me, Ox. I don't know if maybe the two were that drunk on Saturday night we had this conversation. I don't know. The same for me. I'm playing Aaron Ramsey in the middle of the three.
Wow. Was that before and after Foxy done the backflip?
Before.
Not only did he do the backflip, he still had that box of milk tray under his arm.
Oh wow!
All because the lady loves it. Did you see him jiving? What a mover! What a mover. Right, Aaron Ramsey, big call, Peter.
No, I agree with it, because I think Aaron Ramsey is good with the ball in tight spaces. He's shown it in the Dortmund game when he came on. He was in a run box, shows composure, and I just think he offers something different. Look at the goal against Dundee. No many of our midfielders would anticipate that ball was going to go across, and he anticipated on it, and he's done it his whole career. He just offers something different to like your Aribo, and I take Aribo out of there now just because he's no firing all cylinders, but he's out in the right, yeah. He can still get involved in the game, but then everyone's not relying on him. Ramsey can take the pressure off him, and this is why we brought Rams in for these big games. And they're saying we've not really seen him in games, though. What a game to put him into to see if he can do it for the club. And I actually think Ramsey will score on Sunday.
I just think it's a big call. Because if it doesn't go well for us, that'll be what'll be maybe the manager will get a bit of flack for making that call. But listen, it's your team, not my team. I've been wrong before, 8 times on Saturday night. Up front, well, I assume that everybody's fit. Okay.
Can I say I agree with Ramsey?
Yes.
I agree with the Ramsey selection 100%.
Okay. Bold. Up front, if everybody's fit. Linda.
There's only one man that can start if everybody's fit, and it's Alfredo Morelos.
Bridge.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Okay. Jaffa.
Same. Yeah, Buffy.
Peter.
Same. Got to be Morelos.
Alfie, doesn't he make it? Who we going with?
Roof.
Linda.
Yeah, I would say Roof.
Jaffa.
Yeah, Roof as well.
Rich.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. It wouldn't be my choice in that game.
Who would you go for it in?
No, if everybody was fit, and I'm assuming they're fit, of course, and Sakala's back, I would start with Sakala if Alfie doesn't make it, just because of the pace, and I would but I would look to bring Roof on. I think Roof's done very well the last few games, but he's only cameos, and whether he could start, I don't know. But look, it's all about opinions anyway. We'll be joined by Alex Kelly. Evening, Alex.
Good evening, everybody. How are we doing?
Good evening, Kelso. How are you doing?
Evening, Alex.
I'm fine.
Hi,
I'm
Alex.
fine. Hi, Jaffa, Wanda, and Austin Powers with that crushed velvet suit you had on Saturday night. I got to commend everybody for the job he's done on Saturday. It was a fantastic night. Money raised, brilliant, but it was great to meet everybody and put a face to a voice. So it was a pleasure meeting you all. On behalf of your company, thank you.
Aye, I think you enjoyed it more than most, if that would be fair there, yeah?
Aye, we'll put it this way. I was the sponsored bartender for the night. Andy just planked his backside in his chair all night and I was doing the running.
To be fair, I think
And a lot of running.
It was.
To be fair, he done the right thing, because the guy did 3 times at the bar. He was getting embarrassed, you know what I mean?
I tell you, he doesn't pass the height things to go on the rides at Alton Towers. He's that wee.
He was in top.
That was good night. A good night. I'd like to think so. £45 a round. It was brilliant. We were on doubles all night.
Good on you. Good on you.
Aye, but no, listen, I like your team so far. I wasn't going to come in until you get past Goldson, because you.
Your favourite
a wee question for you all. Put you on the spot. But what's your favourite goal between All Firm game at Ibrox, at Hampden, and at Celtic Park?
Favourite goal?
And a wee bonus point if you were there.
Okay, my favourite.
Ever? Is that ever?
Ever?
Aye, just one that sticks in your mind for an Old Firm game at Ibrox, at Celtic Park, and at Hampden.
Okay, all right. At Hampden, I would need to go for Lovenkrands winner.
Cup final. Uh-huh.
Yep, and I was there. Ibrox. I would Jonas Tern, Ray Wilkins. A goal that I've always loved was Kevin Drinkle's header in the in the 5-1 game.
5-1, yep.
And at Hampden, at their place, I loved Gaz's first. I think it was his first goal for the club.
Yeah, the one he hit under him.
Aye. But there's been a lot of good goals there. John Brown's goal.
Don't steal them off the panelist. Put it in the panelist.
I was at that game as well. If you watch it closely, you see me running down the stairs when Gaza scores. Right, okay. There you go. Linda?
Yeah, there's loads, Alex. I would probably agree with Ox. I know he mentioned Ray Wilkins, but maybe didn't pick it because the Kevin Drinkle one was the same game. But Ray Wilkins' goal at Ibrox, it was just a fantastic goal, the way that the header came over and then he volleyed it. Hampden, I'm going to go with Bert Conterman.
Aye,
the one that came out to him and put it into the top left-hand corner. I think that was Hampden, wasn't it? In Parkhead, I'm going to go for Neil McCann's first goal in the 3-0 win when we sealed the league, and was that 99?
Well, that's a great goal.
Good goal. On you go, Jaffa.
Pedro Mendes at Parkhead, Alec.
Oh, what a goal.
Oh, yeah. That was a belter. That sticks in my head. I just remember going for a tumble after that. And at Ibrox, George Albert's Thunderbolt.
Yep.
And at Ham, probably Ian Durant. Right in the Rangers end.
In the League Cup final. Mm-hmm. Okay, Bridge.
At Hampden, I'm going for Kenny Miller's marvellous header assisted by the Pigeon against St Mirren.
Against Celtic, mate.
Only against Celtic, that's fine. Okay. I thought we're open there. Sorry to Alex Kelly, sorry, pal, I didn't pick it up right. So against Celtic, I'll go for the Hammer.
We're talking about the Old Firm Bridge.
It's okay, pal, okay. So I'll go for the Hammer. The game he said I ran with something like 60 yards with the ball, beat 3 and 4 of them, popped it in the net, fabulous. I can't remember what date it was, but just wonderful stuff.
Oh, it was the semi-final at Parkhead, yeah?
That's it, yeah. Wonderful stuff. Great goal. By the way, as you said earlier, there's been many great goals. At Ibrox, I would definitely go with, what do you call him? Oh my goodness gracious, God, dearest me, God, the one that he shot in, Ray Wilkins, fabulous goal, just utterly fabulous. And the day, everything about it, you know, was wonderful. And against them, in their midden.
What did they hot Albert?
Oh, right. Okay, that's fine. We've done it.
Kaya Hansen.
Kaya Hansen, yeah, that was great. That was just wonderful. I forgot about that one, actually. Yeah, no, I think the Kai for that I would go for the shot from one that hit the one post and ran across the line. Was it Vice? It took the free kick. Yelovich, that's the guy's name. That's him. Yep.
Big Tams was a cracker and all, wasn't it?
That was a beauty.
I'm going to tell you, and I'll go to Peter next, but I think Jonas's Terns goal was a better goal than Ray Wilkins. There you go. Harder technique.
It was a good goal. It was definitely a good goal. Yeah, no doubt about it. I liked him, by the way. I liked Jonas Terns.
Nah, we were unlucky with him as well. Similarities to maybe Aaron Ramsey. In you come, Peter.
Yeah, the one at Hampden. Barry Ferguson's free kick against them.
Good goal.
To equalise the game.
What a performance, by the way. One of the finest second half performances you'll ever see. Barry Ferguson. He was absolutely immense.
At Celtic Park, Nacho Novo's lob over the keeper.
Oof. That was a beauty, Peter.
Don't think he could get his leg up that high anymore.
Just like the rest of us.
I do think he'd be able to run on to get the ball now. The one at Ibrox, Shot Avaladze, quarter final at Ibrox. They scored first.
Yep.
I was at that game at Ibrox and it was brilliant. That was the one puzzled. He just bust his head against Aberdeen the week before.
Mm-hmm. Remember the 2 games in November?
Yeah. Remember there's another one we missed it as well, Jamie Ness at Ibrox.
Oh, that was a good goal.
Oh, there's hundreds. Seriously,
there's so many.
That was a tap-in.
I'll not ask you, Alex, because you're not a gaze in it, because you said you had to beat the game,
No, I didn't do actually. It was just bonus points if you were at the game.
All right, okay, I gave you all the ones I was at, mate, so sorry.
No, good on you. No, my three that kind of stuck in my... And I was at this again. Barry Mackay at Hampden. Screamer for about 30 yards, top corner. I was at that game.
I got a fine.
The one at Celtic Park.
I got a fine that day. Who was away? Bridge and Fox.
The Bridge one.
By the way, he's right, but I'll tell you that Fox is a terrible direction person. Taxi driver.
The one at Celtic Park that sticks in my mind more than most is mind the backward header. I think it was for the boy Bailey, and Mo Johnson caught it in between him and Pat Bonner and lobbed it over Pat Bonner.
I loved it.
In the volley, what a finish! And my very first All Firm game, the reverse pass for Davy Cooper with wee Durant running 1-on-1. He sat him on his backside and put it by him. And then Durant run by Cooper and celebrating with all his pals in the enclosure, front of the enclosure. Brilliant.
Some good stuff.
I've never got the Davy Cooper one in 1979, August 79. Yeah. Tribal Cup final.
Yeah.
Tribal Cup.
Yeah.
Sun was shining, but you said you had to be in the game.
Who about Arthur Newman's as well?
Aye. Big Hugo Ekiog overhead kick at Celtic Park.
Right. All right. Happy days, happy memories.
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute, can we go back to the St Mirren one? No.
Actually lost a point.
Pigeons.
He's getting his shows mixed up. He thinks it's cast a pigeon.
That was the most exciting goal I've seen scored. Seriously.
We were going to say it's the most exciting.
29
I was going to have a word with Mrs. Bridge about your honeymoon.
Oh, boy. The wee pigeons on the ball, the wee pigeon showing the way to go. Here, put it in there. Fabulous stuff.
We were at a good doing Saturday.
Anyway, we've been joined by Robert Weatherall. Evening, Robert.
Evening, Ops. Bryce, Linda, Alex Kelly, Peter from this time out.
Yeah, the whole world.
Robert.
Jaffa.
Jaffa. Yeah, good evening, Jaffa. Good evening to you all. Just a quick one, Ops, about you're talking about favourite goals against that lot and games you've been to. Mine's obviously you stole my thunder. Driver Cup final, Davy Cooper's my first Old Firm game. Wonderful. Sandy Gardens ran his own half and scored a screamer. And we John McDonald got another. We beat them 3-1. That was my first Old Firm game. And then my first Old Firm game down at Gyro Dome, and I left, Ops. I couldn't believe it. I left because I never got the better of me. Yes. Willie Johnson's throw in, Alex Miller, top corner. What a goal with minutes to go. I don't think we'd won down there in about 8 or 9 years. And what a goal that was. And then at Ibrox, there's so many big hammers, obviously, you've mentioned the free kick. But one of my favourites, it was between Mo Johnson's last-minute winner and wee Morris Edwards. And I think Morris Edwards won as a league, didn't know, or basically confirmed it. We were going to win the league, put so many points in front. I loved that goal with Morris Edwards right to the death.
What a move that was with Big Error that time. He showed his skill, didn't he, when he chased it down to run and battered it in. Yeah?
Yeah, all brilliant. And I also love wee Barry Ferguson in a 3-0 game at Ibrox. And he said on that goal last week, him and Boric didn't see eye to eye. And Barry put it by him and Boric tried to hit him with the ball.
Carry on. I think Bob Jer came in with the show and carry on.
Just honestly, some of the goals we scored against them just unbelievable. But I'll tell you now, I've got the battle fever on for Sunday. I think we're going to win comfortably. Yeah. The coat armour's out, the big white horse has been fed, and I'm up for it. And I think, listen, yeah, the big white horse has had plenty of hay, and he's ready to ride into battle. And I think the Rangers will take 3 after them on Sunday. There you go, guys. I'm ready. Come on, bring on, get right into them. Get right into them.
I love your selection of goals. That one with Morris Edu. Oh my God Almighty! The whole place was rocking.
Well, like it was at Bridge. I was at the game that day.
Anyway, we've also been joined by Bob Jer. Evening, Bob Jer.
Hello. What wonderful memories you're all.
Evening, Bob.
All right, everybody. Hey, what wonderful, wonderful memories you're quoting. I remember them all totally distinctly. My favourite goal at Hampden is going to be Big Tom's blockbuster, you know. But he stood out and it hit him, and the feeling that day was indescribable. Because that was the first time we'd went into the lead in that game. It proved to be the winner, of course, in the Centenary Cup final. And I had my bell bottoms and my feathered hair at the time. And, wow, what a feeling that was. There was a goal at Parkhead I thought was a tremendous strike. The player that didn't play very often for us. Do you mind when we beat them 4-2? Oleg Kuznetsov scored the fourth here.
Yes, he did.
What a volley that was, Hawks.
Good goal. 28
years, he did both volley. That was the fourth game for Rangers that sealed the victory. And one at Ibrox, the hammer, the free kick. Unbelievable. They just never seen it that night. Never seen it. Well, they might have seen it coming, but there's nothing they could have done about it. What a strike with the hammer that night.
Bonus point if you get who scored the other 2 goals that night.
Eric Bo Anderson.
Well done, Bob. Yeah, well done, Bob.
Big Eric Bo, aye. What memories. You could go on, you could quote loads and loads of them, but they stick out for me.
Here. Aye. Listen, every goal special against him, innit? You know. You know, but if you get a winner of that sticks out. You know, you're talking about the goals that were scored, like Big Tom's goals and Peter Lovenkrantz goals who won cup finals. They go down in folklore. But if you score any goal against them, you become a legend. Robert.
Oh, definitely. And I know he scored me, but I don't know how many against him. One of my heroes growing up, with Alex McDonald. Did Tino score one at a League Cup final? Gordon Smith go to the byline. If I get the wrong game here, and we Doddy scored with a header.
He scored with a flying header in the 75 League Cup final in the treble year. And he also scored the winner in extra time when Gordon Smith put in, I think, Latchford got it. And that would have been in 77, and they got the winner in extra time, yeah. Both in League Cup finals, yeah.
Yeah, and how good, I mean, as I say, wee Doddy was one of my heroes growing up along with Derek Johnson. But be honest, how good was wee Doddy with the head for a guy that his size? He was unbelievable, wasn't he?
No, it's remarkable.
Some great goals for us.
No, it's remarkable when you think about it. We've mentioned all the goals, we mentioned this, we mentioned that, and not one of us has mentioned a goal by Alan McCoist.
Oh, God.
Well,
there's millions of them, isn't there?
Anyway. I've been joined by one of my good friends, one of life's gentlemen, Andy Felix.
Good evening, everybody. You stole a couple of my funders for their goal, so I'm going to go try a little bit different, right? In the Scottish Cup final, I'm going to get to Derek Parlin and Alec McDonald's endeavour to win that ball to get us back into one each. They're in the bottom corner. Centenary Cup final, yeah. A league game at Ibrox around about New Year. Derek Johnson rising up to win us the game 1-0. Cracking header in the corner there. And the one at the Pedo Dome, well, I was going to say Alec Miller, but there was one by Derek Johnson where he took it down his chest like a half volley right in the top corner in the 2 each game. So there's 3 goals that stick out for me there.
All right, okay. Aye, Big Derek, good record against him. But again, no Alan McCoy scores. Linda?
No, and the one that stands out now from when I'm thinking about Alan McCoy was, I think it was the quarter-finals of the Scottish Cup. We played at Parkhead. Did David Robertson get sent off in the first minute?
Semi-final, 7 minutes.
That semi-final, and the weather was horrendous.
Hampden, yeah.
Was it Hampden? Mm-hmm. And then
a bonus point if you can tell me what night that was played.
Thursday.
Correct.
And the ball was from Stuart McCall, and he just put it into the bottom left-hand corner, and we held out. And something that stands in my memory from that was Walter Smith's reaction, because I think it was unjust, the red card, Ox.
Yep.
And I think Walter, I remember he turned round and he was, you know, you don't really see him as much as that, you know, and he was punching the air, and everybody was just absolutely delighted. But that was one of my favourite alley goals against them.
Well said, well said.
Rickman.
Yes?
Speaking about Super Alley, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong here, 27 Old Firm goals, is that right? 2 hat-tricks, one in the League Cup final, I was at the game, and one in the Glasgow Cup. Am I right in saying he scored a hat-trick at Ibrox in a Glasgow Cup final game?
3-2 win in a 1986, the night before the Scottish Cup final, a bigger crowd.
Yeah, honestly, fantastic. What a striker. He always done it for us against him, didn't he? He's got to be honest. He always done it for us. Super alley. What a player. What a striker. My opinion, the greatest Rangers striker of all time.
Aye, but none of us picked him out. But Linda, that was a great goal. You mentioned that semi-final goal, yeah?
Yeah, I do remember it. He scored a couple of great headers as well, didn't he? His last Old Firm game, I think, before he left us, he scored a great goal, and it got us through to the final. Unfortunately, we lost the Scottish Cup final that year. But
that was the same goal the same day that Bridge mentioned. Albert's running through and put 1 down, 2 down, and just put it in the net. Yeah. Yeah,
it was fantastic. No, Super Ali, what a player!
That was
44 minutes that goal that night, Linda.
4 minutes, was it, Bob?
44 minutes. Right on the verge of half time.
Yeah.
Stuart McCall made the goal with a tackle, didn't he?
Fantastic.
Andy for Leeds, I've been waiting for a long time, and he done it one night. He's come in with something decent. Andy, Robert, and Alex Kelly. Nearly called him Robert Kelly there, Hopes.
I had them casting expressions on my eye, but you want to see he 10-foot man in the sky, man. Anybody's going to look weak at right arm. Jesus Christ!
I've never thought I'd say this. I've got to agree. You looked wee to me.
I think it was an error. It's just being a wee bit taller than you, I think. But I think it's the fact that I've got no hair that makes me look weird than you. But you mind that you're talking about Alan McCoist? If you mind when he scored the goal just on half time there, he had tears in his eyes, didn't he? When he scored, you mind that? It was when he was running. He literally had tears in his eyes. He put the ball in the rig in there. It reminds that it hit the bar, didn't it? Was it middle of the game or late on? And I said to myself then, right, we're going to get out of this. So the heart that team put into that game that night on that big heavy pitch, that was brilliant. That was great. Because if you mind, we get beaten the league game just before it, didn't we? Mm-hmm. So it was a great, and then we're going down to 10 and all that, and it was brilliant. Ali McCoy just dominated them, didn't he? Let's be honest. But I was just thinking of great goals like that. That Alec Miller one there that you talked about earlier on, that was a fantastic goal. And that one of Derek Johnson. We went 2-0 up, and they ended up bloody drawing 2 each. Where it's what a cracking goal! He just took it down his chest, bang, half volley, straight in there. We were all going nuts, but. So there's been millions of great goals, haven't there, for the Rangers against them? Absolutely millions of them. And long may they continue.
Yeah. Aye. Good question, Alex. But thanks for the call. You've surpassed yourself tonight.
Not a problem. I'm not feeling too great actually. I've come down. I don't know whether it's that COVID or not, but it's testing negative now. So I just thought I would. Change the matter a wee bit.
Have you had it twice before already?
I have actually, aye. Just the job that I do, pal. I'm working in from house to house and it's still out there. Unfortunately, my dad's had a wee bit of time the last couple of days because he had it a couple of weeks ago and he's ended up in hospital and all that with it. So he's going to lose the eyesight in one of his eyes through it. Unbelievable. So it's still serious out there. So, anyway, I'm going to. Thanks, Peter. Listen, I'm going to dip out. My throat's not feeling too good now, but it was just to thank you again for Saturday night and long may the continue. Okay.
Well, we'll get some more details to come out and what we've done, and all the money we've just sold to with a couple of wee tick boxes to bid. We will all be announced at ASAP. Yeah, to let everybody know how we've done, and I think people might be surprised. All right. Cheers, mate.
Magic.
You look after yourself and your
Right.
dad.
Stay safe, Ali.
Right, not a problem.
Hey,
Right.
Alex.
Thanks very much.
Keep
then.
well,
Good night.
Keep well.
Alec.
Keep well.
Good night.
Good night.
Cheers, Alec.
Well, he's no calling it after you, Andy, because you weren't breathing on him, were you?
No, well, my vodka could have killed anybody on Saturday night anyway. And there was some of the lads were saying in the WhatsApp that they felt a bit rough. Like me and the lady, we took a test today, right enough, because we had a bit of a soft throat because we were away next week, like, but they come back negative, right? There's a lot of the soft throat and all that running about as well, isn't there? So this
Well,
time of the year and that, you know.
When people get back together, you're still going to get bugs and all that, as well as COVID, you know?
Yeah.
You know, anyway, yeah. Right, okay, yeah. A good question by Alex there, Peter, eh?
Oh, great question. Brian Laudrup scored a good goal at Celtic Park, did he know, as well?
I also scored a good one at Hampden, I remember, as well, in a semi-final.
Aye. There's millions of great goals, but it's a great question. Taking down memory lane against them, they're always special goals, special winners.
Aye. Laudrup was good against them, wasn't he, you know? He scored a couple of ones. He also scored a header when we beat them 1-0. One of Bridges' favourite game when Big Haley came back, yeah?
Oh, now you're talking, boy. Now you're talking. That was a wonderful move by our wife. Just fantastic. Brilliant.
Scored a heater to give 9 in a row.
Really. Two of his biggest goals were arguably headers for us. You've been honest, Robert, eh?
Oh, he's my ultimate hero. I've always said it. Laudrup's my ultimate hero. The best Rangers player I've seen. I did see Bassey, but I was too young to remember. My dad tells me, but Laudrup to me is the greatest. And that header at Canada that night to win his 9 in a row. And some of his performances, the Scottish Cup final against Hearts, the Brian Laudrup show, he scored 2 and set up the assist for Gordon Jury. What a wonderful, wonderful player. And we've been blessed, if that's the right word to say, with some wonderful players in our time watching the Rangers over all the years. You know what I mean? 150 years of history, fantastic history, fantastic players, fantastic memories, and it's big joy. The battle fever's on. Bring it on.
Here. Aye, we have been fortunate. And I'll take this to Andy for Leeds. I know he's been criticised for individual matches. This team are on the cusp of doing something special, mate, eh?
No, it's we're talking to Shuggs today about this, you know, that we could pull this off. You would actually put them right up there, right at the top. In fact, you would say it was a bigger achievement than what we've achieved before, right enough. Shuggs kind of worries that we get too many games in the Europe, the extra games, and them not having them could, put a block on it, right enough. But as I said to him today, win this one on Sunday first, and then we'll see what happens, because we'll gather momentum. If we come with a score at Braga, and we come away with something there, your confidence is going to rise, isn't it? You suddenly don't become tired. You think, we're money here, there's something to be achieved. So that's the way I'm looking at it. But they are on. I mean, when you think of where we played all season, right from that Tranmere game to be sat in this position now, I do think the league situation is, we put ourselves in that position, haven't we? But we've got to deal with what we're in front now, haven't we? It's very annoying. Yeah. My only worry is if we do all this work and win nothing, let them just walk straight in. I think that would break a lot of us. I think a lot of us would be going too lally, to be honest with you. But that ain't going to happen, is it? We're going to keep it positive, and we're going to get this result hopefully on Sunday, and then move forward to bigger, better things. What a season it could be ended. What dearie me. Where would we go for a party if we pull that off then, else?
Mate. Well, can you give me a few days to get over the last one, mate, yeah?
Hey, listen, I'm remarkably calm and I'm ready to go. Just put it up there, let us know, and we'll be up.
Did your good lady enjoy herself?
Oh, she did that. She always does, she knows the score, she's been around me a lot of years, so everywhere we go, she knows that if there's games playing and all that, this is where you're going to be on that particular night. But she can sing a good few tunes. Without the add-ons, may I add. So she's all right, but she really enjoyed it. Yeah, it was good. But she's been good to me that way. Though she follows me all over the place. I don't know why sometimes, but there you go.
I know she followed you, and she just kept saying, "I apologise, I apologise."
Well, that's probably right. But it was I really enjoyed it. I was still buzzing about that because it was a fun meeting everybody as well, and Linda as well. Like, I sat aside her and I didn't realise till that's Linda. Oh, Jesus Christ, better say hello here. But no, everyone, Jaffer and all that, and Jimmy, every one of them come up to his bridge man. He come up straight away. I asked him if he wanted a drink, but he wouldn't take one.
No, he was driving. He was driving, Mr. Bridge. I wish he'd hug a boot now when they end up in Coat Bridge. Anyway, that's another story. It was
what a shocker at Oxford. What a shocker.
Oh, mate, you don't know the half it, bro. You don't know the half it. Special thanks for all your support and your company. It was great, and obviously I'm glad that your good lady enjoyed it. There was a wee buzz about the place, and then we had a laugh, and then the party started, didn't it?
Hey, listen, I went away with him for the complex because everybody kept coming up to saying I'm punching above my weight every time they met Sally. But I go, wait a minute here. I wasn't a bad looker back in the day.
Oh dear. Right, okay, right. We've got our team. We've got one wee bit of controversy. Some of them are plumped for Aaron Ramsey to start. Andy, what's your thoughts on that? They're involved here.
I see the logic in it, but I'm not convinced that Gio sees him as that way. But I would go that way. I would like to think that Stephen Davis is going to figure at some stage as well. I think he's pivotal in these next few games. And even if his time's up, that's what I mean. Yeah, but I'm thinking if his time's up, I would like to think he'd figure in some of these games. That's going to get us over the line, hopefully. I think his experience and his knowledge, and especially the likes of the game on Sunday, if it's tight and the way they run about and we're still in and it's nothing each, one each, Davis could be that man when they're puffed herself out after the so-called 60 minutes. That could be opening them up with that correct ball and all that. So I wouldn't totally discard Stephen Davis. That could be a mistake. You know what I mean? But that's my take on that one. Ramsey, should he play? Well, that's what he brought there for, isn't he? So I just don't trust that he will play him. But we'll see.
Bob, yeah.
Well, there you go. I'm a wee bit undecided here. Yeah, I would start with Ramsey. Ramsey's a big game player. He's been at the pinnacle all his career, playing international football. He's played for Arsenal, played for Juventus. He's playing for a bigger club than we call Glasgow Rangers. It's about time he stepped up to the mark. The man is bound to be fit. Now, I don't know. But, yeah, with his reputation and his ability, I would start him in the middle of the park. Definitely. And bring Steve Davis on if he felt something, if he tweaked something and he felt he needed to come out and bring on Steve Davis. What an alternative he is. Yep. So, yeah, I would start with Ramsey on Sunday.
Glenn Kamara's captain is in this league championship, Robert, and we'll walk cast him aside.
No, listen, I know, but Glenn Kamara, if you've been honest in the last couple of months, yes, he's committed a couple of wonderful games, and he's had a few poor games, but I think Glenn Kamara is a wonderful player, but I don't think sometimes he tracks back enough, and I think Aaron Ramsey, it's like Gascoigne, Laudrup and DeBoers, they type of players. He's signed to make the difference. And I think if he's fit and he played 95 minutes in a big match against Austria, it wasn't a friendly, it was a World Cup qualifier, and he played 95 minutes, I think he's got to put him in there on Sunday. He's got to put him there and make a difference. And also, can I ask you a wee question? Can I ask you a wee question? See about Sunday, do you think, see that game from Nigeria last night, and I know the fans invaded the park and all that blah, 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 but do you think when Nigeria get put out of the World Cup in extra time, that could affect 2 or 3 players for Sunday?
Can I answer that one about 2:45.
No, listen, I knew you were going to say, but I'm just a wee bit concerned there because if they get through this, they would be flying. They'd be walking in the air coming back to Glasgow. But I'm just a wee bit concerned. Is it going to affect Joe Aribo? I don't think it will affect Big Bassey because he'll go through a brick wall for you. But Joe Aribo and Big Balogun, that might be a different case. I'm just a wee bit concerned there.
I understand it. Obviously, they've done a wee bit. If I've been honest, and I don't know what you think of this, Peter, I don't think Joe Aribo, arguably our best player up to the winter break all season, Big Joe, and then since then, I don't think he's been pulling up trees, has he?
No, Linda touched on it herself. What he said, he's been saying at his own press conferences that he knows he's not hitting the same heights, and he's frustrated and he'll work harder. Sadly,
Peter, don't mention height when Andy Village is on, please.
I heard Andy's got his own tailor as well. That's just Aribo's getting frustrated as well, but the only problem was Ramsey wasn't fit at the time, so we couldn't exactly take him out of the team to give him a wee breather to maybe try and ignite his spark again. But it's frustrating because I seen it earlier on the Rangers pages, and it was right. He was going to be one of the standout candidate for Player of the Year, and since he's come back for the AFCON, he's been a shadow of the player since he's come back for that, and that's a worry.
Can I come in on that, Alex? Yeah?
Yes, Bridge, of course you can.
Just to ask the question, do we think he's maybe carrying a wee injury? Or are we not?
My honest opinion, I'll take this for I just think he's fatigued. I don't think anybody's been fair with the boy. I think it's just caught up with him. He's played all the games the last couple of years, and then he's went the meant of this break so that professionals can refresh their batteries. I know the player went away and played in all the games and hasn't stopped playing. That's my opinion. Bobja, then Linda, then Jaffa.
I don't think you're far off the mark there, Rox. I think, as you say, the boy's a bit jaded. Is that the word you're looking for?
Aye, that'll do.
Aye, I think he's a bit jaded, the boy. Excellent player, wonderful player, on his game again. What a pair to have in the midfield, Ramsey and Aribo. Well, he might burst into life on Sunday, you don't know. But yeah, he has played a lot of games as a young boy, and I think jaded comes into the category. But hey ho, let's hope he can do it on Sunday.
Linda and Jaffa.
Yeah, I agree with Bob. I mean, he's probably the only one that didn't get a break, didn't he not? Because Balogun didn't go and Bassey wasn't in the squad for the AFCON. So unfortunately for Joe, he didn't get a break at all. I understand where Robert's coming from as well in terms of that disappointment for them. But Robert, I'm hoping that actually they'll just park that now and they're back in with their teammates, they're back in their club football, and they just say, right, we've got a big games ahead, we've got a chance to win trophies. And I'm hoping that Joe Aribo, if he plays on Sunday, puts on a really good performance and he kicks on and we see the real Joe Aribo for the next, hopefully, whatever it is, we've got 10, 12 games.
Jaffa?
Yeah, I think that's all very fair. Ox, I think he probably did need a breather. But I would be saying, if I was Gio, I'd be saying to Joe Aribo, just give me 60 minutes. Give me 60 minutes on Sunday and bring Sakal on. And that's what I was saying earlier on about it's what's on the bench as well is going to play a big part on Sunday. Because if we're going to get the energy levels up and the tempo is going to be up, then we're not going to get 90 minutes out of all these guys, Ramsey included. So we're going to have to go to the bench for the last 30 minutes, 35 minutes of the game, which is just as critical. So Sakala coming on, or Roof coming on, or whoever that is, it's coming on, James Sands to block up the middle of the park. These guys have all got a part to play, but I would still have Big Aribo. I still think he's a big game player, and I would still have him in the starting lineup.
I think if I'm being honest, Robert, going back to your good self, mate, I just think jaded's a good word to Bob here.
Sorry, what did you say? Sorry. I
think Bob Gear made a good point that jaded would be the word you'd use because he's played so much football.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I'll be honest. See, the first half of the season, that boy was your player of the season. Maybe Tavs, maybe taking that mantle on for the second half, right? Brilliant. But Jory was a wonderful football player. He's that type of player that could just make the difference, because he's not been playing great since he came back to the African nations. But you know what? You might go there on Sunday and you'll get a adorable goal as he did against Braga not so long ago. So he's got to play. He's got to play.
All right, okay. Aye. Well, I think he will play. I think most people think that, but I think we're being honest. Honest as always, Peter, about his form.
Oh, aye. That's what I was meaning as well. He's still a young boy, and it's a lot of games he's played, and it's a lot. Let's be honest, a lot of expectations on his shoulders as well. Everybody expects him to open teams up, but that's what I'm hoping now with Ramsey, and it's going to take some of the burden off him. No, but as we said, we'll need the whole team to stand up. Can't just rely on 2 or 3 of them. Need the whole team on Sunday.
Here. It's a team game. Well, been some good points tonight. Great call by Alex Kelly. I hope he's all right, and I hope his dad's all right. And I hope you're feeling better, Andy Felix.
Yeah, I'm no problem. I'm just ready for the next one and just ready for the game on Sunday. I'm remarkably calm, but Thursday tomorrow, isn't it? It depends what Thursday brings, doesn't it? See how what starts transpiring in it. Because we've got to see whether, although we've got them back, we've got to make sure that they're all right. You can always get that something happens on the eve of the Old Firm, or somebody's not playing, or somebody you think's not playing is going to play. So yeah, it will be all right. It's been great shows. The 3 nights have been brilliant, just leading up to great memories tonight. Fantastic. By the way, it was me that told Alec to ask you that question, not him.
Andy.
Oh dear! You know who your friends are, Robert? Huh?
You got to get him while he's doing. You know what I mean? Because he'll come back at me. That's for sure.
Definitely. And guys, final thoughts from me tonight. And here's a wee uplifter for you all on Rangers Radio and all you Rangers fans listening out there. Don't forget, when we played Borussia Dortmund in the Westfalen Stadium, in a 10-minute spell, the Rangers scored 3 goals. So there you go. If we turn up on Sunday, as Ox always says, and we give that 10-minute spell, as we did in the Westfalen Stadium, the Rangers will win comfortably. Ox, thank you and good night.
Good night, Robert.
Good night, guys. Good night, everyone.
Good night, Robert.
Good night.
Don't know what you think yourself, Jaffa, but he gets really shyness, by a bad collar, Robert.
He's one of us, isn't he? He's one of the Bears.
Yeah. Well, we're close to reaching that time of the evening. Peter, thanks for taking the time to join us, mate. It was great to hear from you again. Some good points, mate.
No, thanks for taking my call, and look forward to the show tomorrow. They've all been great shows. Everyone just gets better and better. But counting down the time to the Old Firm game. It's not coming quick enough though. But thanks again. I'll speak to you later.
Cheers, mate. Speak to you soon. Bob, Gia.
Well, I'm just going to say what Peter said. The show gets better every time you participate and every time you listen. That's great. And I've never been so confident going into an Old Firm game. There you go. And I usually get hypertense about it. I will, but I'm very, very confident we'll get a result on Sunday. Joe Aribo will score the winner. Thank you.
That'll do me. Andy?
For me, great show I'll ever come across, and it's the only platform out there. Thanks for putting up with us, and I just look forward to the show every night. 8 till 10, that's my night swapped up, so that's me.
Right, mate. Right, Jaffa and Linda now. We'll go to Linda first.
Yeah, great night, Ox. It was good to be on with you. Your good self, Ridge and Jaffa. Loved the show. Lots of good points, lots of good callers. Come on, Rangers, just get us a win on Sunday. I'm going for 2-0, Ramsey and Kent.
Okay. Over to Jaffa.
Yep, thanks very much, Ox, for having us on, mate, and always a pleasure to be on Rangers Radio. And thanks very much for the company of Bridge and Linda, and to all the technical boys in the background, Fox and all the other guys.
The one and only Bridgeman.
Well, what can I say? By the way, Ox, you had another fantastic night. Well done to everybody. Great patter. Brilliant stuff. Good laughs. Everything's going great. And by the way, thanks to Linda and oh God Almighty, gone. My mind's gone. Sorry. Jaffa, sorry, couldn't get out there. So, brilliant night. Really enjoyed it. Thanks very much for your company. Can I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, in particular Rangers fan here on Rangers Radio, every one of us, we are the Bears. Bears and the Rangers need us too. We are the people. Keep it going for the Rangers. Everybody keep it going.
Here. And, thanks to everybody who took part tonight. Peter, Bob Chair, Alex Kelly, Robert Weatherall. Have I missed anybody out? I think I hope I missed somebody. It'll come at me. Thanks to Jaffa, Linda, and of course Bridgeman. Thanks for listening. Please stay safe out there. I think Alex Kelly's right. There is still dangers about, but just be careful. Thanks for listening. Stay safe, and we'll be joined tomorrow night between 8 and 10 talking about all things Rangers. Will be joined by my big mucker, Stevie, and Billy Boy. Take it away, Old School Blue.
There were cheers from the crowded congregation as the light blew the mirrors beneath the stand to the sound of the very latest music that was played by the Government Borough Band. The excitement was tense, the game was starting as the Rangers kicked off amidst the roar. For the yells and shouts were just terrific when the one and only Glasgow Rangers scored. We'll support no other team but Rangers and follow wherever they may go. So drink a toast to Glasgow's football heroes who play in red, white and blue and Dunmore go. The excitement was tense, the game was starting as the Rangers kicked off amidst the roar. For the yells and shouts were just terrific when the one and only Glasgow Rangers scored. We'll support no other team but Rangers and follow wherever they may go. So drink a toast to Glasgow's football heroes who play in red, white and blue and Dunmore go. Who play in red, white and blue and Dunmore go.